ask me, do you ever get mad? And of course I answer, well, yes, everyone gets mad sometimes. The important thing is what we do with the mad that we feel in life. A few weeks ago on my way home,
this is MongolianMindset, and today we're going to be typing Mr. Rogers. We're going to watch this clip, and then we're going to watch a video. We'll be breaking them down using Linda Barrens Interaction styles and temperaments combined with cognitive functions. We do have a playlist on how to find anyone's personality type with all of these interaction styles and temperaments metrics broken down. And we do have a comprehensive breakdown of the cognitive functions one by one, and we do have one video with all of them in one. Okay, watch those videos if you want to be able to do the same thing that I am doing. Okay, we'll check with personality dummy base, right? They have Mr. Rogers as an infp with a lot of fucking votes. Okay, so let's go see what infps are. That's my best friend's personality type. So infps are responding, they're informative, they're outcome, they're TFI, they're SINE, they're abstract, and they're global interest, right? They care about the global interest of everyone, and they're affiliative. They care about doing the right thing. So if he meets those metrics, we'll call him an INFP. If he don't, we'll figure out his real personality type, and we'll just be hitting the metrics from over here, okay? So let's finish this.
Home from a particularly tough day at work.
Particularly tough day home at work, that's SINE, right? That's SI experience there. He's talking about that.
Stopped to see my two grandsons. Their mom and dad weren't there, but the boys were there with the babysitter in the backyard, squirting water with hoses. I could see that they were really having fun, but
I could see, so this is more SI. I mean, you could say that was SEC and the boys and everything, but it seems to be coming from his own personal experience here. This is SI.
I felt that I needed,
okay,
fun. But I felt I needed to let them know that I didn't want to be squirted. So I told them so. And little by little, I could feel that the older boy,
I could feel the older boy. Okay, so that's FI. I could feel. I would say that's more of an FISE statement there. Because that's he could feel, so he's getting internal sensation from that, and it's coming from, like, you know, him getting a feeling from it as well. So FETI, and that's SINE as well, right?
Alexander was testing the limit until finally his hose was squirting very close to where I was standing. I said to him in my harshest voice, "Okay, that's it, Alexander. Turn off the water. You've had it." He did as I told him, said he was sorry, and looked very sad. The more I thought about it, the sadder I got.
So the more I thought about it, the sadder I got. Right? That's more introspection here.
The sadder I got. I realized that Alexander had not squirted me, and that I had stepped into his and his brother's play with a lot of feelings left over from work.
A lot of feelings left over from work. So that's FI there. Right there, I think that's FE opposing right there, right? He's carrying, he's worrying about the external harmony there, but this is after he made the claim. So catch that again.
And that I had stepped into his and his brother's play with a lot of feelings left over from work. So when I got home, I just called Alexander on the phone. I told him I felt awful about my visit.
I did this, I told him this is all personal experience from Mr. Rogers here. So yeah, this is SI. But hey guys.
With him. And the more I thought about it, the more I realized that I was taking out my anger from work on him.
So that's FE opposing coming out right there. That's FE opposing coming out.
I told him I was really sorry. Do you know how he answered me? He said, "Oh, Bubba." He calls me Bubba. "Oh, Bubba, everybody makes mistakes sometimes." I nearly cried. I was so
I nearly cried. Look at this, FISI, come on.
Touched by his naturally generous heart. And I realized that if I hadn't called him, I might not have ever received that wonderful gift of Alexander's sweet forgiveness.
All right, so that's pretty interesting there. Yeah, this guy's INFP. But let's go and check more.
For me, it's you I like, every part of you, your skin, your eyes, your feelings. Whether old or new, I hope you'll remember, even when you're feeling blue, that it's you I like, it's you yourself, it's you I like.
It helps to be loved in order to work in this life. In fact, I'm sad for those who don't feel that they are loved.
All right, so that's affiliative here, and that's global interest, right? What's best for everyone, right? This is what he's getting at right here. Yeah, this man's an INFP.
And this book is a compilation of things that I've said in speeches and in other books and in newspaper columns and on the neighborhood for a long time. Somebody said, "How long did it take you to write this book?" And I said, 40 years.
So this is something you've been, in a sense, as you have grown and learned, this is a distillation of that.
Yes.
It's about what, in the end?
It's about being. It's about the things that matter to me.
About the things that matter to me. So that's FI, what's important to me, what gives me that inner harmony, right? And that book in itself is just a TE compilation of everything. So yeah.
It's about the white spaces between the paragraphs, which I think are more important than any of the text.
Okay, so he's talking about the things that's between the paragraphs here. So that's abstract, reading between the lines here. Abstract. And he said that's important to him, so that's FI again.
Yeah.
Because it allows you to think about what's just been said. I had a professor one time, I think he's on page 20 or 22. His name was Dr. William Orr.
Right.
And he said,
so that'd be TE name dropping here. This guy's responding. This guy is responding. This guy is outcome. This guy's abstract, and he's an INFP.
"No, Fred, there's one thing that evil cannot stand, and that is forgiveness." And you notice the rest of the page is blank.
Yes.
It needs a lot of time to think about that.
I can read this. Have you had people who have touched you, not moved you in order to manipulate you, but touched you inside to inside? Is that it?
That's the one.
Take a minute to think of at least one person who's helped you to become who you are inside today, someone who is interested in you for who you really are, someone you feel really accepted the essence of your being. Just 1 minute to think of those who have made a real difference in your life. Who's made a difference in your life?
Oh, a lot of people. But a lot of people who have allowed me to have some silence. And I don't think we give that gift very much anymore. I'm very concerned that our society is much more...
I'm very concerned, so that's in case of a worry there. That's going to be any. I'm very concerned with society. So that's global interest yet again, and that's affiliate of doing the right thing.
Interested in information than wonder. Is much more interested in information than wonder. In noise rather than silence. How do we do that? I mean, in our business, yours and mine, how do we encourage reflection? I trust that this book will do some of that, but...
So the book has an outcome of trying to get people encouraged on reflecting here, right? That's the outcome, guys. He has an outcome in mind with this book.
Business, yours and mine, how do we encourage reflection? I trust that this book will do some of that, but oh my, this is a noisy world.
Why? A lot of this is about self-esteem, believing in yourself, knowing you're special,
And knowing that you're unique, you know that when you think about it, there has never been another Charlie Rose in all of the history of humankind, and there never will be. And that's the same with every person you meet.
We all have a certain uniqueness.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Uniqueness, that's authenticity, that's FI. He cares about the FI, that's his FI hero coming out, right? And man, this is full of shit, man.
Why is it then you think that so many people come up short on self-esteem and on believing in themselves and having confidence to go out and take on uncharted waters?
Probably because of very early on in our lives that we weren't valued. You know, the greatest gift we can give anybody, any little child, is to help that child know that, hey, you know, you're a part of our family, and you're a welcome part, and there are things that you can do to enhance our family.
There's things you can do. You're a part of this family. So that's more the affiliative there, interdependence, belonging together, affiliative.
You want to see it?
Let's go and knock off these metrics, right? So with him, we got a lot of TEFI, guys. We got a lot of TEFI. You know, whether it be him with his book or what he's placing or how he felt about something or his values or staying uniqueness. So we got a lot of that. We got a lot of SI and NE, right? The SI was from his own personal experience, right? He talks from that lens. He also, like, you know, talking about worrying for the next generation and stuff like that, or that. What else do we have here? We got enough for affiliative. So with TIFE, SINE, and affiliative, you really only have 4 types left. You have the NFPs and the STJ, right? And that by that right there. So we have affiliative, TFI, and SINE, right? Enough for that. So we'll go back, hunt some more.
A picture of 2 little grandchildren.
These are your grandchildren?
Yes.
Oh, look at that. Yeah. How many?
Alexander and Douglas.
How many children do you have?
We have 2 sons.
Right.
And the elder son has these 2 boys.
Why do you think Mr. Rogers' neighborhood, what does it achieve? What does it accomplish?
Oh, I hope that it's given a few more honest adults in the lives of the children who watch. Because I do think that that's a great gift. That if adults can show what they love in front of kids, there'll be some child who'll say, I'd like to be like that, or I'd like to do that. I remember Yo-Yo Ma being on our program. He's come to visit several times. Yeah. And there have been families who have written to us to say that their kids want to learn the cello.
Right, because they saw Yo-Yo Ma on the program?
Because they saw him love his work on the program. And there have been some basketball players and some sculptors. Oh, I remember in the nursery school where I worked as I was doing my master's work in child development. There was a man who
master's work in child development, so that's some TE, right?
Come every week to sculpt in front of the kids. The director said, I don't want you to teach sculpting. I just want you to do what you do and love it in front of the children. During that year, clay was never used more imaginatively.
Clay was never used more imaginatively. So that's an outcome again. That's an outcome.
Here, clay was never used more imaginatively before or after than during that time that he came.
So that's abstract and that's outcome.
So a great gift of any adult to a child, it seems to me, is to love what you do in front of the child. I mean, if you love to bicycle, if you love to repair things, do that in front of the children. Let them catch the attitude that that's fun. Because you know attitudes are caught, they're not taught.
30 years. For you, what does it mean to be on the air with Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood? What's the legacy for you?
Well, I've always hoped that we'd be able to say to children that they matter, that they count,
So affiliative.
and that there was something of value that resides within them. You know, I have a little
Something of value, FI, inside of you.
plaque beside my chair upstairs in the office that says, "What is essential is invisible to the eye."
What is essential is invisible to the eye. That's abstract, guys. That's abstract.
Value that resides within them. You know, I have a little plaque beside my chair upstairs in the office that says, "What is essential is invisible to the eye." That may sound like something strange for somebody who works in television, but the older I get, the more important I know that is.
Why is it important?
Because what we see is
More important, that's FI again.
rarely what is essential. What's behind your face is what's essential.
How many kids do you think are out there who in 30 years you've influenced, who you've made a difference in and made them feel something special?
I don't care how many, even if it's just one.
I don't care. That's FI. I don't care.
We get so wrapped up in numbers in our society, and the most important thing is
Most important thing, FI.
that we're able to be one-to-one, you and I, with each other at the moment. If we can be present to the moment with the person that we happen to be with at the moment, that's what's important.
I couldn't agree more. Let me go back to what, because all of us know.
That's odd. Was that like some fucking SC there? Being present in the moment? Oh, Mr. Rogers.
Of Fred Rogers at the Neighborhood. You talked about what's essential is what you can't see. What can't we see about you that's essential to you, to understanding you?
See how he's just responding as well, guys? Like he's not initiating anything. So I'm gonna just go ahead and hit him for responding. He's introverted, clear as day, and he's outcome. So with that being said, if he's responding, you only got two types right there, the infp and the istj, right? ISTJs are journey focus, and Mr. Rogers is outcome control, and Mr. Rogers is also abstract, and he's not systematic, and he's also informative. So Mr. Rogers is an INFP. But let's go on this because I'm interested to see what he says.
Well, you can't see my my spiritual life unless you ask me about it. You don't see my family life unless you ask me about it. I mean, it seems to me, Charlie, that the things that are center stage are rarely the things that are the most important. It's usually what happens over in the wings.
What have you learned from the kids?
Practically everything.
Like what?
How to know that it's all right to say what comes to your mind right away. I mean, I had
T inferior. There we go. We got T inferior.
Like what?
How to know that it's all right to say what comes to your mind right away? I mean,
Before the protective mechanisms take.
So, you know, INFPs really struggle with actually voicing their pain on a lot of things. So he's talking about T inferior right here, guys. Nice
Take hold of you.
Yeah. I mean, Jesus said to the people around him,
quoting Jesus, TE.
please let the little children come up here. I want to learn from them.
Might be the reason why Michael Jackson was also very fond of being around children.
He might not have said those words, but I think that's what he meant. I want to be involved with these innocent people who make up the kingdom of heaven.
You seem to be the calmest person I know. Soft-spoken. You have a quality that is reassuring.
Remember, like, INFPs are very soft-spoken guys. Very soft-spoken people. Usually when you get the high-pitched voice, it's usually INFP.
Is that the way your entire being is? At the center of Fred, there is this stability, this sense of self, this sense of mission, the sense of calmness, because you know who you are, you know, you're sure about the connection to your God.
I get up every morning, at least by 5,
I get up, SI.
a couple hours of quiet time, reflect about what it is that is important.
Reflect about what is important, that's FI.
Before you get on with the business of the day.
Before I go swimming. And then the business of the day. But what do you think we can do, those of us who are
What do you think, TE?
purveyors of this television medium? What can we do to encourage people to have more quiet in their lives, to more silence?
Searching for an outcome here, guys. We're done, man. I'm done here. Thank you, Mr. Rogers. You inspired me as a kid, so I will say that. So he is an INFP, guys. Mr. Rogers is an INFP. Okay. Folks, Mr. Rogers. So responding, they're abstract. Okay, guys. They're future focused. They're focused on the world that could be. How can we build this utopia, right? Their interests, right? They're looking at the global interest for everybody. What is it for everybody? How can we move this forward, guys? They're affiliative, so they care about doing the right thing. They care about interdependence. They care about cooperation, right? Bridging the gap between people, right? And he's informative. He's beating around the bush. He's passive. He's not choosing his role. He's highly responding, you know. And he's outcome. He's hunting outcomes. Everything is about outcomes. This book, everything. How can we get people to reflect better? That's all outcome. He's SINE. He's coming from his own personal experience, right? And he's a FI user, a heavy FI user. Okay. So yeah, we have him as an INFP. I'm going to hit Mr. Rogers for harmonizing, right? Subtype harmonizing. I'm not gonna write it all out. I'm just gonna put harm. I usually think INFPs are 2 types when it comes to Enneagram. I usually see either 4 or 9, right? Mr. Rogers didn't play that anger game, right? So I'm gonna hit him for 9, right? And I'm also gonna hit him for 9W1. And I'm gonna say he is in fuck, this is tough. I'm gonna go SO. SO/SP. And I'm gonna give Mr. Rogers prodigy level. I fuck with Mr. Rogers. I'm giving him prodigy level INFP. Okay. So we have Mr. Rogers as a harmonizing INFP 9W1 social/SP. And he's a prodigy level, okay? Personality database did get this one correct. A broke clock is right twice a day, guys. So even the monkeys got this one right. This is Mongolian Mindset, and we're out.